Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Recap of Honor podcast. I'm your host, Colin Tessier of WrestleZone.com. Another Monday, another exciting episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling, and we'll talk all about that and just the latest happenings in the world of Ring of Honor here on the Recap of Honor. Before I do, just want to remind you all that this show, like everything we do here at WrestleZone, is available on any number of streaming platforms, whether it's SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever it may be. We've got you covered. So leave a like and subscribe. So this week on Ring of Honor Wrestling, we got not two, but three matches, all of which were very exciting in their own ways, whether it was a clash of two very dynamic stables with the Foundation and Shane Taylor Promotions, or whether it was Quinn McKay vying for a ticket to gold in the Women's World Title Tournament for her second attempt. So definitely a lot to get into there. First off, we had an unadvertised match between Fred Yehi and Ray Orris, two guys that have been kind of in the mix in different divisions here. We saw Fred Yehi challenge for the pure title a couple weeks ago, came up short against Jonathan Gresham. Orris is a guy that's challenged for the TV title in recent months, and he picked up a big win over Demonic Flamita on the hour one of Best in the World pay-per-view just earlier this month. So now coming out of the pay-per-view here, both guys looking to gain some momentum here in the singles match. And before the match, in a little on-screen graphic, it was shown that this was Yehai's first non-pure rules singles match in Ring of Honor, and then took me by surprise. But then I realized that Yehai, he competed in the pure title match, or the pure title tournament last year. That was obviously all pure rules matches. He's competed in a couple pure rules tag team matches, and obviously, like I said, challenged for the pure title, and again, that would be in a pure rules match. So I guess obviously that tracks that this would be his first non-pure rules singles match versus a guy in Ray Orris, a guy that's, again, challenged for the TV title. So definitely a match with some implications in the TV title division there. So for me, even the commentary team hinted that Orris is a guy that's kind of maybe looking to climb up the rankings in the TV title division. So coming off his win over Demonic Flamita, maybe he could be considered the favorite in this match. So it wouldn't be all that surprising to see that he won this match against Fred Yehi. So all of a sudden, Orris is stringing together two wins there. And maybe in line for another TV title shot. He did challenge the current champion, Dragon Lee, several months ago. I think that was back in January, before Lee lost the title. Now Lee is the champion again, so maybe a rematch of that one. And I know I enjoyed that match a lot the first time around, and I would not mind seeing them mix it up a second time. So Ray Orris definitely picking up a big win here, probably climbing the rankings in the TV division. And I mean, I would expect to see him challenge for a title sooner rather than later, because obviously you have any number of people that are making a case for a title shot of their own, but all of a sudden, Orris, two good ones there, definitely has a good case for a title shot there. So we had that match, and then kind of maybe the most anticipated match for this week was Quinn McKay facing Mandy Leon in her second attempt to earn her ticket to gold for the Women's World Title Tournament. Previously, Quinn McKay, formerly I should say currently, the broadcaster, the host of Ring of Honor Wrestling, but still hoping to get into the wrestling side of things. She lost her first match against Angelina Love. She's been feuding with the Allure for several months now. Mandy Leon cost McKay that first match. Leon, ruined McKay's great performance in that match. Helped Angelina Love win that one. With the win there, Angelina Love earned a first round bye in the tournament, but with a solid effort in that match, Maria Kanellis Bennett decided to give Quinn McKay a second shot at qualifying for the Women's Title Tournament. So we had this match here, where this was Mandy Leon's first match on Ring of Honor TV since, I believe, the on-screen graphics said, I think it was October 2019, which is a very long time. Obviously, I think she's been training and getting ready for this match for quite a while as well. But in some ways, as Ian Riccaboni pointed out in commentary, McKay ironically had kind of not the experience advantage, but maybe the ring readiness advantage, in terms of she had that match against Angelina Love just, I think, 2 or so months ago, whereas Leon had a longer layoff there. So definitely interesting to kind of see who would be able to gain the upper hand in that sense. Angelina Love was at ringside for this match, so of course that was a factor as well. But I did enjoy the pre-match promos where especially from Quinn McKay, where she said that really, despite their kind of demeanor, despite their characters, she is a lot like Mandy Leon in many ways. Leon has been a backstage interviewer. She's been exactly where McKay is now. Maybe that's where that jealousy stems from. So, and I just like that kind of that dynamic there, rather than just, the classic, like, maybe the good guy looking for revenge, or someone looking to get this title opportunity. McKay more painted it as this, this story where Leon was looking at the past version of herself, and maybe felt some jealousy about where she is now, to, adding some more complexity and some more layers to that story. So again, just with Angelina Love being at ringside, there's definitely an uphill battle for Quinn McKay no matter what. Definitely put in a good performance again, but unfortunately for her, at least, Mandy Leon won this one, so Quinn McKay will not be in the Women's World Title Tournament. I don't know what that means for the bracket, because even though we saw Chelsea Green debut at the Best in the World, she won't be in the tournament. She's not medically cleared to do so. So now there would seem to be an open spot in this tournament, and I'm not quite sure who that's going to go to. There hasn't really been an announcement about it as far as I've seen, and the commentary team didn't say anything either. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. That could be revealed this week on Women's Vision Wednesday, or shortly thereafter. We do know the tournament will begin on, I think, the weekend of July 31st on Ring of Honor Wrestling. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that tournament begin. But again, with this open spot here, I'm not quite sure. We've seen a couple of participants not be able to compete in the tournament for any number of reasons. We saw Allison Rex get taken out of the tournament due to an injury. We saw Vita Von Star get taken out of the tournament through her actions as a member of the Righteous. And now again here, for me, I had kind of largely assumed that McKay would qualify for the tournament, but instead Mandy Leon won here. And I do want to say I like that kind of inversion of the formula, where usually the bad guy wins the first round, the good guy wins the second round. McKay lost again here, and now she'll have even more of a reason to hope for some revenge down the road against or whenever that may come. And it may not be in the women's title tournament, but at the same time, maybe now that the women's division is getting back up and running, we'll see another chapter of the story at some point down the road. But it's worth noting that Maria Callas Bennett was on commentary for this match, so she definitely was not thrilled with the interference of Angelina Love. In the end, Love distracted the referee, and it also gave Leon some brass knuckles, and Leon hit McKay to get the win there. So she pretty much hinted that she's on the board of directors. She explicitly said that, and she hinted that she could take some action to punish or to sanction the Allure with their continuing interference. I mean, that's exactly what she did with Vita Von Star and the Righteous. So wouldn't be all too surprising to see Leon and or Angelina Love get punished for their actions here. And I'm not quite sure what that would mean for the tournament, especially with Angelina Love being, I would say one of the favorites to win the whole thing. But definitely a situation worth looking, and keeping an eye out for in the weeks and months that follow here. And in the main event, the very much the most exciting match on the card, for me at least, again, as a fan of the ongoing stable warfare that we've seen for months now. For this round, it was the Foundation versus Shane Taylor Promotions, albeit in a different way. We saw this match, I think it was back in February or so, and Shane Taylor Promotions won that one. Taylor pinned Jay Lethal there. Here, Jonathan Gresham was at least seemingly injured. He had, I guess, supposedly tweaked his knee, as he said at the beginning of the show. So Joe Keys, a guy that we've seen a couple times on Ring of Honor TV, a student of Gresham at the Ring of Honor dojo, he filled in for Gresham in this match. Definitely a big chance for Joe Keys in the main event match here. And on the other hand, he had Shane Taylor Promotions. We've seen Taylor, we've seen Moses and Khan of Soldiers of Savagery. They're the six-man tag team champions. But this time we saw O'Shea Edwards kind of make his big, in some ways, not his debut. We've seen him compete in the rankings battle for a while. We saw him in some matches against Sledge on the YouTube channel and week by week. But for me, at least, definitely a big opportunity for O'Shea Edwards in this main event match. So both guys, really, O'Shea Edwards and Joe Keys, getting a chance to shine in the spotlight here in this main event match with Jay Lethal, a former world champion, with Shane Taylor, a former TV champion. And Rick Bonney on commentary said it best himself. There was not a weak link in this match, right? Everyone looked great. Everyone kind of held up their end of the deal, I guess, by putting in a good performance, and nobody was really the true weak link. Nobody really cost their team the match, right? I mean, at the end of the day, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. And here, there was definitely a moment near the end where it looked like Shane Taylor was going to pin Jay Lethal yet again for the second time in this somewhat rematch of between the two stables. But instead, it was O'Shea Edwards picking up a big win for his team by pinning Joe Keys. We've seen this kind of match several times in recent months, again, with all those battles for stable supremacy. We've seen the just dynamic hostage between two various groups, whether it's been the Foundation or LFI or Violence Unlimited. Now Shane Taylor Promotions getting in there. And, it's been worth noting, of course, Shane Taylor Promotions has been kind of on the sidelines or maybe in the background of this stable feud, but now 2 wins over the Foundation. And you've definitely got to at least make a case that, Shane Taylor Promotions quickly climbing the ranks and becoming if maybe at least on that same playing field as the other stables here, and especially given the fact that Shane Taylor Promotions does hold the 6-man titles, all of a sudden they've definitely got a case to be made. If not the most dominant stable in Ring of Honor, definitely they deserve to be in that conversation. So at the same time, as much as you can celebrate the Shane Taylor Promotions winning here, maybe some cracks in the Foundation we've seen for I'll say a couple months now. The Foundation, Jay Lethal lost to Roosh at 19th anniversary. Jonathan Gresham is still the pure champion; he's still going strong. But the Foundation lost the tag titles at 19th anniversary as well. So on top of this loss here, definitely got to wonder about. They're kind of on a cold streak and definitely desperate for some positive momentum here. And hopefully they'll be able to get it soon. Otherwise, their quest to purify Ring of Honor might be on thin ice in some ways. So, definitely the unfortunate for them that they lost this match, which could have been a great way to kind of maybe patch some of those cracks and gain some of that momentum they really need. But unfortunately, they came up short, and we'll have to wait and see if they can regroup. But overall, either way, win or lose, it was a very good match. I enjoyed it a lot. And as I said, definitely a great way for Shane Taylor Promotions to pick up a big win and definitely re-enter that conversation for the most dominant stable in Ring of Honor. And I'd like to see them face off against LFI, against Violence Unlimited there, and hopefully we'll get to see some of those matches soon. And next week we're aligned for yet another exciting show as well. We're going to have another 3-match show. Usually we'll see 2 matches and really the spotlight be on them. But next week we'll see 3 exciting matches in different ways as well. Just like this one, definitely each one bringing different things to the table. Bringing up my notes here just to make sure I get them right. So we're going to see Sledge versus PCO. I interviewed Sledge a couple months ago. I don't remember when it was. I think it was April. And he had teased that he wants to face PCO. He wants to test whether he really is human. And we saw this match officially get teased at Best in the World when Sledge came down to the ring and confronted PCO after PCO and Danhausen beat the Bouncers. So I'm looking forward to that. Just like we saw with O'Shea Edwards and with Joe Keys, definitely a chance for Sledge to have a breakout moment of his own here by facing a former world champion in PCO. 2 big powerhouses, 2 big dudes, 2 fun personalities. Definitely going to be a fun match there. Similarly, we're going to see a triple threat match between Dalton Castle, Dak Draper, and Eli Isom, a match that's definitely been seemingly in the works for a while, ever since Castle kind of returned with his quest to add drama and flair to Ring of Honor TV. We saw these 3 guys team up at Best in the World and challenge Shane Taylor Promotions, but they were definitely not on the same page, and they came up short in that match, largely due to that tension and that conflict that Castle, I would argue, cost Isom the match at a couple different points. Now they're going to clash in a triple threat match, and we really don't see too many triple threat matches in Ring of Honor. They're definitely not a common occurrence, I would say. So definitely a situation that warrants it, and I'd be curious to see who emerges victorious here, and then where they go from there. Right? I still think that there's some commonality to be found between Castle and Dak Draper. Maybe they can find a way to coexist, or maybe these 2 guys will go their separate ways, and whoever wins could definitely enter, or I should say rise to the top of any number of the 3, I should say the 3 divisions here in Ring of Honor: the TV title, or the world title, or the pure title. I would say maybe if Castle wins, he could really launch to the top of the TV title rankings. He obviously has the track record for it as a former world champion. On the other hand, Dak Draper, Eli Isom, 2 very talented young guys, could use a win in this match with a former world champion to quickly come to the forefront of any one of those divisions there. So definitely looking forward to that one as well. And we'll also see Flip Gordon face the world famous CV, formerly known as Cheeseburger. So, I mentioned it on the Best in the World post show. Flip Gordon came up short against EC3. and a very surprising outcome because he's scheduled to challenge for the world title at Glory by Honor next month. So definitely could have used a win there for some, definitely a big, statement making win there. By coming up short, he definitely needs a win against CB here. And no knock on CB, but this could kind of be a warm up match of sorts. He will challenge Bandito at Glory by Honor for the title, and you can pretty much bet that he'll be definitely looking for some positive momentum coming off of that loss to EC3 and looking ahead to his match with Bandito. So I think all three matches definitely worth looking forward to and worth getting excited about, because they definitely bring something different to the table. Otherwise, not too much to report on beyond that. As I mentioned, Quinn McKay losing that match against Mandy does kind of throw some uncertainty into the women's title tournament. We're not quite sure how the bracket will unfold now that one spot remains open, as far as I know. Again, no known announcement that I can recall or that I've been able to find about that last spot. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Otherwise, beyond those announced matches, the big news story for Ring of Honor in general is the fact that I mentioned it last week, but Ring of Honor said they would make an announcement about their next pay-per-view, and they did. We now know that Ring of Honor Death by Dishonor will be back in September. They're returning to Lakeland, Florida. It will be on September. Let me see here. It looks like September 12th, and I think that is a Sunday again. So it's 2 Sunday pay-per-views in a row for Ring of Honor. Very much looking forward to that. I mean, we're going to have a 2-night Glory by Honor event next month, but the next big pay-per-view will be Death by Dishonor, so we can look forward to any number of exciting matches there. It'll be a historic show, because we do know that the Women's World Title Tournament will conclude at that pay-per-view. So for the first time since before the pandemic, we will have a new Women's World Champion in Ring of Honor, and by then we'll see how the bracket will unfold. I would hope that we'll find out who will be taking that final spot, and I'm just very much looking forward to that tournament, and then seeing who rises through the ranks in that bracket and competes at best at Death by Dishonor and fights for the currently vacant title. We know, again, all but one entrant in the tournament at this point, so maybe that final entrant could make a big difference. But regardless, I'm sure it's going to be a great competition for the title, and the best two wrestlers will find their way to the Death Before Dishonor and fight for the title there. So until then, John Clark and I will be back here on Monday night, as I'm recording this now, to talk about WWE Monday Night Raw. John and I also do the NXT post show, and the Dynamite Dudes Attitude cover all things AEW, and they also do WCW Rewritten to talk about all fun Facebook and stuff for WCW. And Robert D. Felice and I are here on Saturdays to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. And also, we've got a great team of interviews constantly coming at you guys, whether it's Bill Pritchard interviewing Matt Cardona. I interviewed Shane Taylor, so if you want to check that out, to kind of as a companion piece for the Shane Taylor Promotions match on this weekend's episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling, I recommend doing that. And otherwise, just all this stuff and more constantly coming at you guys, more interviews, more shows, more post shows, all that stuff and more available on any number of platforms, whether it's SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever it may be. We've got you covered. So leave a like and subscribe. And remember, especially now the fans are back, Ring of Honor, at least maybe not on the weekly TV show, but we know that we had Best in the World, and we can look forward to Glory by Honor and Death Before Dishonor, and beyond Ring of Honor, you've got WWE, AEW, Impact, all bringing fans back. Wrestling is back, and that makes it easy to do the one thing we do here at WrestleZone above all others, and that is to enjoy wrestling. Thanks for listening, everybody.